Natural Born Vitality. I'm Sage Peterson, and I'm a lifestyle vitality coach, and I teach martial arts, primal movement, and ancestral skills. And I got my boy Dmitrius here, and we're going to talk about some handstands. So,
handstand master keys. So we just made a longer video about the whole philosophy of movement and whatnot. You can go watch that one. But this one is just the straight instructions and keys to doing a handstand right there for you. And you can check out my stuff over at Reality Files, but let's dive into this. So we're going to start with the skills you need to build, like strengthening the wrist and the shoulders, and training you can do every day. And then we'll do the build up and progression into the handstands. But make sure you stay to the end, because everyone that can do a handstand right now, if you want to go to the next level and do one like Sage, yeah, we're gonna have tips on like the visualization and the feeling of it. So stay tuned for that. Let's talk about strengthening the wrist and the shoulders and just some good movements.
okay, cool. So yeah, strengthening the wrist and shoulders is key.
Bit.
And a couple basic movements are basically, I'll give you a couple. So here we go. One is crawling like this. So you go left hand, right foot, left hand, right foot. You can go backwards as well, just like this. And what that does is it gets the body and the wrists not only building strength, but also moving for mobility. The other piece is doing this. This is very simple, but it's profound, okay? So you get your arms nice and straight, and you really engage the core, and you squeeze your this triangle here. So it's like squeezing your chest and your lats at the same time. And basically, straight arms, you're gonna go forward and then back. And do that 10 times, okay?
And this is training we do every day, because if you do handstands at all, or you wanna get into it, your wrists and your finger flexibility and strength is everything, is really everything. The wrists and the shoulders and this lever right here. But so that was really good. Any other tips on the wrists?
Yeah, and just on that point that you're talking about real quick is, it also is what keeps you from getting injured, all right? So it's important to progress. Don't just jump right into handstands. Yeah. So another one would be like, well, actually, you go on the palms of your hands like this, and you roll up to the fingertips like that, okay?
Oh, that's a good one.
So you put a lot of pressure on the fingertips.
Really good.
You see that?
Yep.
Okay, so like really, I can feel my fingers digging into the earth right now. And what that does is you wouldn't notice this, but your fingertips actually, and maybe we can take a little video, but the fingertips are these little tentacles that keep you balanced and aligned.
And in fact, the fingertips, it's crazy, but the strongest muscle in the body is like usually little muscles in the feet and the hands. And it's very crazy because they're like the smallest, and you don't think they're very strong, but climbers can hang from their ring finger. Right? Like what ounce of little muscle in your bicep could you hang your whole weight from and pull yourself up?
And it's technique for sure, without a doubt. Like if you think of monkeys, those guys swinging, like they're way stronger than us.
So getting back to that primal strength in the hands of doing things, because we're all, our hands have deteriorated just like our feet have. But so let's do a progression into the handstand, if we don't have any more on the wrist and shoulders.
So those are great for starters, right? Build the foundation. Now we're gonna start doing a little bit of applicable movement. So this is
probably
called
about 4 stages as we progress into it.
A dive bomber. So you go into what's in yoga, down dog, and then you pretend like there's a fence about this high, about 8 inches high, and you're gonna go down under the fence and up like this and open up.
This is really good for your wrists, your shoulders, and the whole posture behind the handstand.
Now, if you can't, that is a difficult movement, I promise you.
Especially if you do it right.
Yeah, doing it, great technique. Here's the thing, practice the way you want to perform, so don't get sloppy. So if you can't do that, just go start like this and maybe do smaller, less movement, but really solid movement. And then get down to where you can get your head on the ground.
So this is really focused on these shoulders and the back muscles, because this is the lever for the handstand right here. Yeah. So strengthening that part and creating more flexibility and movement in your wrists. So that's progression number 1. Number 2, would you say the crow stand? Or?
I would say crow, yeah. So crow is hands nice and solid on the ground. and we're gonna straighten our arms just like we have been, right? Because a handstand has straight arms. We're creating scapular strength with this. We put our knees on the elbows and we come up like this and keep pushing. Like I'm not just hanging out, I'm pushing my arms as straight as possible.
And if you almost start falling forward on that, and you can stop yourself and get to that point, really powerful workouts for your wrist.
Definitely, yeah.
Like pushing yourself too far forward, where you're about to go into a headstand almost, and like bring yourself back with your fingers.
Yes, because that'll happen in a handstand.
Yeah, when you do a handstand, basically the muscle that you use to stop from falling forward is you straighten up, but also you apply a ton of pressure on your fingertips. It's little subtle balance points.
Yeah.
So
nice and strong, straight arms, elbows, knees on the elbows. Now the other really important key for this is the subtlety and strength of the core. Now the way to build that is when you're in crow, pretend like you're like this, you're gonna do the opposite. You're gonna go, you're gonna pull your muscles back towards your back, and you're gonna fill your back up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
it's like the hollow hold.
Yeah, hollow hold. So you're constantly doing that. So what it looks like is, so if I'm just kind of relaxing in the crow, not correct, it's like this. Okay, but if I'm really going for it, I'm going like this.
You see how he like everything got tighter and went up? It's kind of like when you do about to do a pull-up, right? When you do a pull-up, you can hang from the bar loose, right? But before you start it, you actually push yourself into like the position for the pull-up, right?
Exactly.
It's the same thing. And training that is really important, because you're gonna notice when I do a handstand that my hollow hold isn't there because I never trained it with the correct core positioning. Yeah. And you can get really advanced with a bad technique, right? But you can never hit the highest levels of doing handstands or any kind of movement if you have a rocky foundation where your core isn't in the right hollow position. Awesome. So number 3.
Absolutely. So honestly, for people who can't do a handstand, what I would say number 3 is do it against the wall. So you want to go do some stuff against the wall?
We'll show them right here.
Okay.
You just want to touch my feet?
Yeah, sure. Well, you know, the wall actually is really valuable for the alignment piece.
Yeah.
So should we take it over there? And...
Oh, well, how about you just touch my feet and act as my wall?
Okay, cool.
So I think they'll be able to see right here.
Okay.
So now I can work on going from here to a hollow.
Yeah. Cool. Exactly. So bring your hips forward still. Yeah. Forward. So hips forward and...
Would you say tighten your glutes?
Yeah, tighten your glutes and pull your ribs back. Yeah, so it's almost a...
Okay. Right there?
Counter movement, yeah.
So let go.
Okay. You're gonna go back a little bit.
Yeah, that's tough to hold that one.
Yeah.
I want to revert really bad. Ah.
Nice.
Stronger fingertips.
Yeah, yeah.
So do it against the wall. And I got a lot of, just from doing that, a lot of master keys for the handstand for everyone watching here. We got 2. Before we dive into just showing you guys our handstands and our progression, let's talk about really the reason that a lot of people are coming to this video. Is the first one is the feeling. Okay, so hold on here. So when I was a kicker, or when I played golf, so a lot of these sports I did competitively, it was a one-act thing, one movement. Whether I'm freestyle skiing and it's big air,
yeah,
or I'm kicking the game-winning field goal or something. And really, you're, I guess, priming on how you think about it, right? The visualization of how the perfect shot feels is key, okay? Because you're telling your body how to move. And whenever you learn something, you can learn all like the technique for throwing a frisbee or using throwing knives or something, right? But the key is almost to like release all of that and trust your body, right? Yeah. Visualize the feeling and trust your body to do it right. Because when you're analyzing, oh, I should, you know, move this more.
My son, dude, I'm sorry.
Go get it off.
I'll be right back.
This is good tips for everyone. But when you're analyzing like, you know, this particular thing, or I should do this, you're actually getting further away from the natural movement. So let go of all those thoughts, visualize how it feels perfectly. So when you hit the perfect golf shot, right, you don't even feel it come off the club, and you instantly know it's flying high, far, and true. It's the same with kicking a field goal. It's the same when, like anything you do, when you get that perfect shot, that perfect movement, you don't even feel it, right? It's so natural, it's so fluid. Same thing with the handstand. You gotta visualize yourself kicking up into the perfect, I guess, the center of the pendulum. Like that perfect thing where you're just balanced. You could hold this forever, right? Imagine that feeling. The second thing when doing handstands is to be very soft, subtle, and perfect. So when you do it, you can just go into it without thinking much or without really trying, and you're never gonna hit the perfect hold. The goal should be, when you do the handstand, you're doing the minimum effective amount of effort, right? The minimum effective amount of effort. And you are literally just kicking up into perfect balance so that there is no adjustment right away. Find it right away. The third master key to doing handstands that me and Sage have been figuring out here is where you focus, okay, my friends? Where you focus with your mind and the positioning of your body. So whenever you do anything, really you can only focus on one thing. I remember when I kicked footballs, I would focus on a certain spot of the ball and where that would connect with my foot. When I do handstands though, I actually focus, I pick a spot in between my hands and I zero in on it, right? With the feeling and the imagination of perfect balance, right? Where you're not really tight, but it's just right there. If you ever done headstands, if you do a headstand, how I do headstands is I pick a spot on the wall that I'm looking at and I zero in my vision. This is key because wherever we look and focus with our mind, our body goes. So if you ever done skiing or acrobatics or gymnastics, you know that if you're gonna do a 360, you look for it and your body follows suit. If you're about to do a backflip, you look for it and your body follows suit, okay? So wherever you're looking with your physical eyes, right, that's gonna be your 0 point, your balance point. And then whatever you're focused on in your mind of how it should look and feel, just this one thing, kind of, that's what your body will fall into, okay? So train this in your mind before you jump into it and really look for those keys. And the last thing I wanna leave you guys with here on these 4 master keys to doing a handstand is the lever, okay? Becoming a single lever. Whenever you do a complex movement like this, as you progress, you have to really dial in, okay, I need to be stronger in my wrist right here, I need better positioning and whatnot. But if you're about to go compete or perform in something, you want to be a single lever. And what I mean by this is, when I jump on a slack line, if you're really fighting the vibration and the slack line's going everywhere, it's because you're actually resisting the movement and you're it's separated just into your legs and hips. But if you become a single pull, a single lever, and you actually let yourself move the whole entire body with the slack line, right? And it's single flow. Everything calms down and you silence it because you silence the core, the center of momentum. The same with doing a handstand is to think about the arms, the wrist, the body, your whole thing as a single lever, right? So that when you're rocking forward, it's not just, you don't just push your hands deeper into the ground. Everything about this lever transforms to bring yourself back to homeostasis. Think about yourself as a lever. Find the focal point to focus on, right? Be soft and perfect in the visualization of the feeling, what it feels like to hit that perfect handstand before you go into it. And this will take most people from handstand, basic handstands, to the next level, truly.
Yeah, and if you've probably noticed that my eyes have been wandering. I'm watching my son right now, so that's where my attention's been. But yeah, everything he's saying, it really does make a big difference where your eyes go, and we can go into more of that later.
So can we see a handstand from you? We're just gonna do some handstands to finish up this video. Really pay attention to the lever, the form, and the positioning he gets here. Let's get it, Sage.
Ready?
Mm-hmm. Wow. Incredible. Look at that hollow core, straight lever. Nicely done. Can you show them an open legged? Sun got in the way. That was a really good one, though. Yeah.
Well, let me do this and then we'll go, okay?
Perfect.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
From that last one, yeah.
Sweet. So, okay, guys, thanks for watching. This is Sage, amazing martial arts teacher, natural vitality, primal movement, you name it. This is our main martial arts teacher right here. This is Ivy.
This is Life Teacher. He teaches us about what life is about.
He teaches us how to move.
Yeah.
And if you want to see more from Sage, he has a philosophy of movement free ebook. Link in the description. Also, come see him out here in Durango, Colorado. We're gonna be throwing events for movement, ancient skills, really, just and how to get back into our natural state of vitality and being.
Yeah, movement, martial arts, ancestral skills, and basically lifestyle, meditation, nature connection, all that good stuff.
So this guy's the real deal, and this channel is going to be growing. It's going to be really amazing what we build here. So make sure you leave a comment on what you want to see, what kind of movements you want to see in training. And think about coming to see Sage if you want to get to the next level in being, feeling, vitality, and earth-based movement. So
yeah, and I want to put a shout out for his channel too, Reality Files. I've been watching it and it's been priming me for the day. So for real, it's good stuff. Check it out.
Deep philosophy. But anyways, thanks for watching. Hit that share button and share this with someone who wants to move.
All right.
See you guys later.